All right. Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai. Call Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kodash. Double honest apostle, elders, great millstone, rule and teach well. Peace, salutation to all you community in the four corners of the earth. Hey, I'm Yaquan from YSO, Yahushai Sanctified Ones, coming to you with with another little quick video. You know, it's just about being careful of the words that we speak, or being mindful, right? To be mindful of the things that we as Israelite men let in our lob and out our mouth. You know, sometimes you can speak things upon the brother in the body that you can speak things out into existence. The tongue is powerful, right? You have to watch your tongue, right? You got to watch your tongue. You know, you got to watch what you say, how you say, you know, because you never know the words that you speak, how it may come off on another brother, or, you know, or whatever the situation may be. Right. But let me get this scripture right here. Right. Salaki. Oh, shit. All right. This is, yeah, that's it. That's what I want. All right. The Jeremiah, so should be Jeremiah 17 chapter, but let me make sure I'm right. Let me make sure I'm right. What I want, Jeremiah 17. All right, yeah, that's what I want. Jeremiah 17. This is Jeremiah 17, and I'm gonna start at about 9, verse 9. The heart is deceitful above all things. Your mind, your heart, right? It's deceitful. So it puts different thoughts in you and really that's Satan, right? So the Lord is letting Satan loose to sift the house of Israel. And you go through times when you have deceitful ass thoughts. You have wicked ass thoughts. But you got to be able to control them, that those preconceived thoughts that comes into your lob, that you don't let it out, that you don't push it off into the brethren, because it turn off and push back off on you. You know, the words that you speak, you gotta be able to be mindful of the way you speak, man. You know, when you're a man of the Lord, because the tongue is powerful. The tongue is very powerful, right? So the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? That's right. So who can know it? Right? So if it's desperately wicked, who can know it? And so the things that's thought in your mind, that's why the Lord said you'll sin in your mind first before you even let it out your mouth, because you thought of it, because it was in your mind. It was the wickedness was there, right? It was already rolling off your tongue. So we as men of the Lord, we need to be mindful of the things that we're speaking and saying, even when we're on the highways and byways. You know what I mean? Sometimes you know you can get going and get you know, you can get into a situation, and sometimes you can speak the wrong words out your mouth. So we have to be mindful of those things that we say, right? But right here, this is let me jump up here. This is yeah. Yeah, this is Proverbs 18:2. A fool have no delight in understanding. And that's the thing, like, we don't want to be a fool in the scriptures. We don't want to be a fool in our understanding. Right? We don't want to be babes in our understanding. We want to make sure that when we have a speech, that we speak upright and we speak righteous things. You know, of course you're going to, you know, curse people. You're going to, you know, put the curses on people. You're going to, you know, deal with people in accordance to how they're dealing with you. And that's being a prudent man, right? Being able to deal with people in accordance to what they're giving you, right? So if they're giving you hell, well, naturally you're gonna use the Lord with the scriptures. You're gonna get them back to hell, but you're going to use the wisdom of the scriptures upon the people, or upon, even when you're dealing with the brothers, you're going to use wisdom to deal with them. You're not going, you're not going to deal with them in a foolish man's mentality. You got to check your words that you say, the way you speak, the things you talk about. Let your conversation be in righteousness. Let it be upright, right? So a fool have no delight in understanding, but that his heart may discover itself. See, when the wicked cometh, then cometh also contempt, and with ignorance reproach. Okay, let me go into that word right quick.
Strong's H 7036.
Cologne.
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 Okay, ignominy. Okay, let me hit that. Cologne. Shame, right? It goes back to shame, dishonor, confusion, ignominy. Okay, shame, dishonor, right? So you can have a conversation. It's a shameful ass conversation, to have a conversation, and it's a disgrace, because the words that come out, you can say foolish ass shit out your mouth where it don't make any kind of sense whatsoever. You got to keep your conversation upright. And the way to keep your conversation upright is by what is dealing with the Lord, right? Focus on the prophecies, right? Focus on speaking the truth. Focus on speaking of things that's relevant to our everyday living situation, or to what's going on, right? There's so much shit going on in the world with Russia, Ukraine, and I was going to have a video about that, which I'll probably do that video tomorrow. But because so many videos going out about it, about Putin pulling out the so-called black icons, about the bridges being burned. It was like 2 bridges that got burnt up. One bridge got knocked down, another bridge got burned up here in America. It's so much shit going on in the world and in Earth about how now they're gearing up for World War III, which they're already gearing up for World War III. So there's so many conversations that can be had, but the way that we had that conversation, we always got to be mindful, of the things that we say and the way we say it. It's not always what you say, it's how you say it, So shame, disgrace, dishonor, ignominy of nations, dishonor, disgrace. Right? So make sure we're not speaking with disgrace, or being disgraceful, or disgracing yourself, bringing shame to yourself, right? Or looking like a fucking idiot, a fucking fool every time you speak. Every word come out your mouth, it's just fucking straight fuckery and foolery, right? All right. Let me get back to where I was at. All right, so this verse 3. When the wicked cometh, then cometh also contempt, and with ignominy reproach, right? With shame comes reproach, right? Ignominy, disgrace. The words of a man's mouth are as deep waters. You can get drowned in deep waters, man. Right? You go in deep waters, man. Sometimes you can't breathe. You won't make it back up. You get too deep, you drown. You bound to drizzle, right? And really think about the scriptures. Right, when you're ignorant in the scriptures, when you lacking knowledge, right? When you lack the knowledge of the scriptures, you'll drown. You'll drown trying to do certain type of videos. You'll drown trying to go into Revelation. You'll drown trying to go into Daniel, right? You can't. It's not something that it's too deep. So some places you need not go. So some things you need not say. Same thing, right? So be mindful of the words that come out of your mouth. Because you got to remember, Jeremiah 17, the mind is wicked. Right? It's desperately wicked. Right? So you got to watch the things that you say. Back to verse 4. The words of a man's mouth are as deep waters, and the wellspring of wisdom as a flowing brook. See? So it could go both ways, right? So when the wisdom is popping, your conversation is set aright, right? Scripture said that set your conversation aright. Let me get that. But when you got how do you set your conversation aright, right? How do you set your conversation? How do you set it right, man? You gotta hold on, Slovakia. Yep. Psalms 50. Let me get this right here. All right, yeah, this Psalms 50 and about 23. Psalms 50, and I think it's about 23. Psalm 50, 23. Let me get there, Slovakia. I wasn't there. Yeah, I was trying to hurry up and get it moving. I wasn't really trying to have a long video. But this Psalms 50 and 22. Now consider this. Ye that forget Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, lest I tear you in pieces, and there be none to deliver. Whoso offereth praise glorifieth me. So when you offer praise, you're gonna glorify the Son through the Father. You're gonna glorify the Father through the Son, right? So whoso offereth praise glorifieth me, and to him that ordereth his conversation aright will I show the salvation of Yahweh. Right? So you set your conversation aright. You're not talking foolishly, right? You're gonna rebuke. You're gonna have times you gotta rebuke brothers. But even when you're rebuking brothers, you want to do it you don't want to do it with a fool man's mentality. You don't want to get carnal with it. You want to keep it spiritual. And sometimes you gotta give a good spiritual ass whooping. But but you set your conversation aright though. You put it in a place of a prudent man, of a man of wisdom, not a foolish man, right? You don't become a brawler in your conversation when you're dealing with a brother or anybody for that fact of matter, unless like I say, you deal with a man in like manner, right? Like the scripture say, dealing to your women according unto knowledge. Well, we got to deal with everybody according to knowledge of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. So if we set our conversation right, things in our life will be a little smooth, and they ain't gonna be great, but the Lord gonna be there. The Lord gonna show the salvation of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. See, the salvation of the Lord is going to show through your conversation. See, so you will know the Lord is supping with you. You will know the Lord is dealing with you. Okay. So that's something to be mindful of. Is the way that we are dealing with one another. But like I say, in Proverbs 18:4, the words of a man's mouth are as deep waters. So like I say, you get drowned. You can fuck people up. You can take somebody too deep, too quick, too fast, and they just bug the fuck out. So we gotta be mindful. Being a man of wisdom, you are a 24/7 Israelite, right? 24/7, and that's something that I think a lot of brothers have issues with. But you are a 24/7 Israelite. Okay, we're not going out there on the highways and byways 24/7. We're not wearing our fringes 24/7. We're not, we're not teaching 24, but we're meditating. We're meditating on the things of the Lord. When we out, like if I'm in my car, I'm driving or something, right? I'm playing the scriptures, right? Or I got one of the brothers on, or I got the elders on, I got the bishop elders on. They got the elder apostles on. I mean, what I'm saying? I'm setting my conversation. My conversation mentally is already going to be set right. You know what I'm saying? You know, not you know, because there's a give and take to everything. You know, there's a balance. You got to have a balance, right? So you know, but see, I don't really deal with this. I can't take what I call the nigga music. I can't do nigga music. Now I could probably do the old school, you know, music a little bit, but after a minute, all that, you know, lovey dovey shit get on my nerves. So you know, you got to have a balance in life, though, right? So you know, I might hear, but when I want to hear a little something, I put on the you know, a few brothers, the Hezekiah brother, that brother DeBar. I mean, there's different, you know, avenues that I choose to use if I'm gonna listen to some kind of music, you know. But you know, with that said, the whole point is to always have, you know, the mind frame of a spiritual man 24/7. You know, we gotta always be spiritual, not carnal. You know what I mean? So you put the carnal things away, so you don't have that drawback. You don't have that fight, because if you're constantly keeping the things of the Lord going, right, your conversation will be set right. You know, your mind frame will be set different. You'll think differently. You'll think things out before you make a foolish decision, and that's being a wise man. That's being a prudent man, right? And that's what we're supposed to do as men of the Lord. We're supposed to always have our minds geared and focused on Yahweh Shema Shai, and not the things of the world. Yeah, we gotta live. Yeah, you gotta maintain. Yeah, you gotta survive. I understand all that good stuff. You know, you gotta try to, you know, figure it out the best you can. But our sole purpose should be Yahweh Shema Shai, you know, and doing this work and trying to keep the Lord satisfied with us. All right, but this is Proverbs 8 and what was that? Yep, and 4 and 5. It is not good to accept the persons of the wicked, to overthrow the righteous in judgment. That's right. A fool's lips enter into contention. Right, it's always some shit going on. Cause see, when a fool speak, he gets shit started. Right, because he doesn't know how to order his conversation right. He don't know how to have a complete. He doesn't know how to be a man. He doesn't know how to be. His mind is so fucked up and boggled down that his conversation is fucking retarded. Right, conversation it makes no sense. Mental sense, spiritual sense, it makes no fucking sense of that. The conversation of the fool. Right, he's always blabbermouthing and he's talking all this shit nonsense. Shit just don't make sense, you know. So a fool lips enter into contention, and his mouth calleth for strokes. See, a fool's mouth is his destruction, and his lips are the snares of his soul. Because you can destroy yourself through your mouth. The shit you talking and speaking, you pulling yourself straight to hell. And I mean to the grave when I say hell. You understand? So if you in the know, you understand. When I say hell, I mean you about to go up 6 feet deep. Right? You about to be put in the earth. Okay? You about to get that burial. Right? So that's destruction. Because the fool is the men of this world. Right? Those that want to be of this world. Those that live to be a part of Esau's society, Esau's kingdom, who believe in nothing but Esau's society and kingdom. So you're a fool. You know, your conversation is a fool's conversation. You know. Let me get this right here.
I'm about to get on GTA.
Let's see.
Live my life on GTA.
This is Proverbs 18. This is Proverbs 18 and 21. Proverbs 18 and 21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. Right? There go that fool's conversation. But death and life. So when you are Israelite, you got to speak. You speak in life, but you speak death. And you got to remember that death and life is in the power of your tongue. So the things that you bring forth, that you manifest out of that you speak out of your mouth, you manifest in your life. Right? So your tongue can bring forth your death or your life. Your tongue bring forth the wickedness you deal with, or the righteousness that you have getting into the kingdom of heaven. Right? You're gonna go through hardships because the Lord chastens those whom He loves. But you gotta make sure that what you're speaking in an upright manner. That you're speaking with you're coming from a prudent man's mind, a prudent man's way of thinking, a way of thought. You know, we, like I say, you know, it's more to being an Israelite than just cussing everybody out. You know, being able to know 1,002 scriptures, and and being able to is it's more to just you gotta have the whole picture, right? And you gotta know to control the things that you do and say. Now, nobody's perfect. We've I've messed up before. Nobody's perfect, right? So the Lord say, well, righteous man falls 7 times. So but you get up and you keep popping. You correct those mistakes. When you see when you see yourself slip, you gather yourself and you get yourself back together. And that's being a prudent man. You in this world, you're gonna mess up, you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna say the wrong thing sometimes. But to show your growth is to be able to go back and to correct yourself. When you can correct yourself before somebody else sees it, that's a man that's being supped with by the Lord. That's a spiritual man, because nobody's perfect. We strive to be perfect. We try to be perfect, but we can't achieve what Yahweh Shai did, right? What Yahweh is, what Yahweh Shai is. We cannot achieve that, but we strive to be as perfect as we can be as men, as spiritual men in these fleshly bodies, right? So death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. So if you love death, you're going to eat that fruit thereof, right? If you, out and about, and into the, that street life, or you into that world, well, you're going to get that death. You're going to get that fruit. You're going to eat it. That's what you're going to eat. The things that you conjure in your brain, the things that conjure up in your mind is the things that the Lord will let you have. But if you speak in life, you speak in truth, you speak in salvation, you speak in righteousness, you speak in kingdom, you speak in royalty, right? Your mind is geared to have the better things of the mental standpoint, the righteousness, not the better things of this world, but to have the better things of this world is Yahweh Shema Shai. So if you speaking of those things to have Yahweh Shema Shai in your existence, well, that's what you will get. If that's the kind of man that you are, that's the fruit that you will eat. So you will be of that fruit. But when you are a fool, you speak death. So I'm gonna get one more scripture because I didn't want to make this long, because it's and the point pretty much is already made. But let me get the point is pretty much made. It's pretty much made. But I'm gonna read this. This is my last. This is Matthew chapter 12, verse 35. A good man out of the good treasure of the heart bringeth forth good things. An evil man out of the evil treasure bringeth forth evil things. Right? So if your shit if all you got in your mind is wicked thoughts, and demons is just bombarding your brain, well, all you can bring forth is wickedness. You can't bring nothing righteous about. Your conversation is all fucked up, right? You conversate about one thing, you on to another thing. You on to, it's always some bullshit. It's always some wicked shit coming out your mouth. So once again, a good man out of the Salakia, a good man out of the good treasures of the mind, your heart, bringeth forth good things. And an evil man out of the evil treasure bringeth forth evil things. Okay? But I say unto you that every idle word that man shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. And that's what we got to remember. So your mouth control your tongue. Control how you say what you say. Make sure you're eating the things of righteousness. Because when you constantly eat things of wickedness, man, your mind is blown. Right? There's no soundness in you. Right? When you got demons just corralling your fucking brain, you're like a ship rocking to and fro. You're unstable. You're double-minded, right? Your mind is constantly going from one thing to the next thing. You have no stability, no mental stability, right? Because you're wicked, you're evil. Because the evil thoughts is racing through your fucking brain. You can't control every thought, everything that's ever you've been through in life is constantly staying in your brain, running through your brain back and forth. You cannot survive in that capacity, and you are a wicked man. You are an evil man. Okay? You're not a righteous man. But a prudent man, a man of the Lord, he'll take those things and he'll start eating the scriptures. He'll put on the brothers. He eating. Right? He'll get into the scriptures and he eating. He'll turn the scriptures on. Man, even if you ain't reading the scriptures, you can turn the scriptures on, man, and you eating. You can listen to the scriptures. You can listen to the scriptures and you eating, you feeding. That's why I got this thing I always say, make sure before you go to bed, before you close your eyes, you get your scriptures on. Now, sometimes I fall asleep, my phone might die or, whatever, but I wake up and I'm like, oh shit, my scriptures ain't on. I put my scriptures on, or if I happen to be tired or whatever, I just fell out but I always pop up because I need to feed my brain with the Lord while I sleep, because I want to constantly be being fed, even though I'm not consciously knowing, but my subconscious, my spirit, man, is eating. He's feeding. So while I'm sleeping, right, on the carnal side of life, my spirit is still eating the things of Yahweh Shema Shai. And that's I want to always constantly keep the Lord going through my brain in some way, some form, some fashion, right? Even when I don't know, but I know the Lord is popping. Scriptures is popping, right? So, that's a part of being a righteous man. To be a righteous man, to constantly eat good things. It's just like your body, right? If we eating Burger King, McDonald's every day, right? What's going to happen to our body? It's going to cave in, collapse, right? We're going to be fat as fuck, right? Don't get me wrong. Like I got a little weight on me, whatever, but not like, that, but still, but the point being is, we going to, body's going to drop. You ain't going to be able to really move. You're going to be breathing heavy as hell. You're going to have all kind of ailments and shit. Because you feeding yourself the bullshit. You feeding yourself the pollution, right? But when you do like Daniel, and if the master's table, because right now the master's Esau, we all know that, but his table is polluted, it's filthy. So Daniel said, what did Daniel do? Daniel ate the pulse. He said, give me the greens, right? Give me the kale, give me the lettuce, give me what's my favorite, the spinach. Give me the spinach. Let me eat that good old spinach salads. You know what I'm saying? Let me eat the good things. You know what I mean? Maybe put me a little baked chicken in or something. But I can just do straight salad. Give me the good stuff, man. The cucumbers, the tomatoes, the little tomato for the fruit, the little little odds and ends. Let me feed my soul with those things that's gonna be good for me. Let me feed my body, my life, my mind, my heart. Let me feed it with those things that's nourishing for me. And what's nourishing is the scriptures, is the Lord. So I don't play with the the nigga music. I don't play with listen to the bullshit. It's brothers that do it. That's fine. I mean, that's your choice if that's what you like to do. But for me, I don't want to feed myself the bull. If I'm not gonna go eat shrimp, crab, and lobster, pork, right? I'm not gonna go eat that shit. So why would I play the nigga music? Because the nigga music is shrimp, crab, lobster, and pork. It's the equivalent of feeding myself in my body shrimp. I'm feeding myself pork, right? I'm feeding myself all the negative shit. So if I'm listening to nigga music, all I'm doing is putting shrimp, crab, lobster, and pork inside of my body, right? I might as well go take a big ass fucking pork chop and fucking consume it. Because when I put nigga music on, I feed my mind, my brain. What am I feeding it? I'm feeding it shrimp, crab, lobster, and pork. Because what are they talking? They talking all this nigga shit. Kill nigga this, nigga that, smoke a blunt, nigga fuck a nigga, right? They all on this bullshit, right? So if I feed my mind trash, if I'm polluting my mind, if I'm a spiritual man, I'm polluting my mind with all this wickedness, with all this trash, well then I'm going to have a fight. I'm going to fight a lot. I'm going to be angry. I'm going to go through different emotions because here I'm trying to be spiritual, but yet I keep feeding myself with fucking pork and shrimp and crab and lobster, and it's like, fuck. And then I'm in the scriptures, and I'm feeding, so now I'm warring. I'm having a war within myself. But when I become complete, and I feed myself just with the scriptures, right? I put on some brothers talking about the Lord. I put on, I'm listening to the brothers. I'm listening to the scriptures. Now I'm consistent. See, now my diet is right? Now I got a healthy diet of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. I got a healthy dose of the Lord. Now I don't have to worry about my tongue because when I speak, I'm going to speak righteous things. A righteous man going to speak in a righteous manner. Why? Because it's what you put in your body. You polluting yourself or you going to nourish yourself. And how do we nourish ourselves? Is with the scriptures. So I say you got to always keep putting the good things in your body. You got to keep your body taken care. Like now, I'm trying to cut a lot of meat. I want to keep with a more of a green diet, right? Vegetables and those things that's good for you, rather than having a lot of meats. Not saying I'm not gonna have meats, but I'm trying to push into my body a better way of living, right? A healthier living cycle for my body. So if I'm doing it I need to do it for my mind as well. And that's being a spiritual man. I'm not going to do Tupac. I'm not going to do Jay-Z. I'm not going to do Biggie Smalls. I'm not going to do 50 Cent. I'm not putting these guys on, especially these young niggas. I'm any of them niggas. And I'm not putting, why would I feed myself if I'm a man of the Lord? Why am I going to eat shrimp, crab, and lobster in my brain? I'm not going to feed myself that. I'm not going to disrespect myself like that. If I won't physically disrespect myself, my own body like that, my mind is my body, my spiritual body. Why would I disrespect the Spirit of the Lord like that? So, that's my take on it. But, hey, man, every brother can do their own thing, right? But what brothers be wondering why they be warring with themselves, why they have issues, that's why. Because you feeding, here I'm feeding the good shit, I'm eating it, but then I'm also still putting this bullshit in my body. And that's not helping. It's not making me no better. It's just actually adding on to my problems. All right. And it's making me war with my spirit even more. My spirit is fighting the flesh. It's getting even rougher. The fight is getting tougher because now I'm helping my own spirit. I'm trying to be a spiritual man, but yet I'm putting the wicked side of life, the carnal shit in my brain too, with the scriptures. It's not going to work. We got to have one. We got to have the other. Okay. This is Matthew 12:36. But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. And once again, we got to make sure that when that time comes, right, we've spoke the things of righteousness. Well, our conversation was upright, was an upright conversation, right? This is 37. For by thy words thou shalt be justified. And how do you get justified? I'm no longer feeding shrimp, crab, and lobster into my brain. I'm no longer putting shrimp, crab, lobster, and fucking pork. It's not in my brain anymore. I'm not listening to nigga music, right? I'm not putting that nigga shit in my head no more. Just like I won't eat pork inside of my stomach in my body. If I won't physically eat it, why am I spiritually listening to that shit? Because that's what that shit is, right? That's all it is. It's the same. It's the same fucking thing as eating that shit. You eating it on your physical body or you eating it in your spiritual mind, right? So we got to be spiritual men all the time. So by thy words, thou shalt be justified. And that's your justification. How you justify? Because I'm constantly eating the things of the Lord, right? Even when I'm asleep, the things of the Lord is going on in my brain. I'm not eating nothing else but the things of the Lord, okay? And by thy words, thou shalt be condemned. See? So, hey, look. So I'm Ye Crawford. Why I show you how should I 75 ones. I just want to come with a video. I hope this is edifying to somebody. You know, if you didn't like the video, nobody told you to watch it, you don't have to watch it. I don't really give a shit. I'm not doing it for you anyway. I'm doing this because I'm trying to get my Revelation 11, 3 and 11. I'm trying to get my crown. And it's Ezekiel the 3rd chapter. I'm putting out the warning. I'm warning the people. Hey, so hey, with that said, Shalom and the Barber Ball.